Here we go. Yeah. So, what's up, guys, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the first episode of the Running Podcast. I'm your host, D. Linz, and I'm joined by Carlos. We're gonna talk Texas, a little UTSA, a little NFL, a little preview for this week, and what we saw last week. So first, we're gonna go into Texas. So, Carlos, you were there, so shoot it.
All right. First game of the season, first time season ticket holder. Shit was fun, but I don't know. It's just I didn't like the people that I was around. And I don't know how I'm gonna do it for a whole season.
Oh yeah, I mean, I kind of told you that, like getting into it, like closer you are to the 50, bro. It's just so many couch coaches, bro. Run the
Well,
ball, throw the ball. How did you catch that?
I mean, it was just aggravating. It's just like, dude, think about it. It's ULM for for first off, it's ULM. They're saying run the ball with Bijan Robinson, which is our best player, against a shit stained team like ULM. Like it makes no sense. Why risk an injury when you have Bama next week? It is
Yeah, man.
just how it
It's
is.
kind of like who was it when Texas went to Super Bowl? They beat, was it Tulsa?
With like the group
It
of
was
five team they
twenty-seven,
beat.
24.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Tulsa.
I see, dude. I remember that game. Leaving the stadium, people were telling me you better take a picture of that tower because you're not going to see it lit up for the rest of the season.
And then
Like that's how people are. Yeah,
they
exactly.
won 10
But that's
games
how
for the
people
first time
are.
ever in like
Yeah, but
since
that's how people
'09.
are, man. Like, dude, that's. I remember taking a picture. Like, man, what's the problem? Like, dude, like we won. Like, be happy. You know, like I get it. You're disappointed, but Jesus. But I mean, other than that, I mean, come on, man, shoot it to me. How was it? Experience fans.
I mean, I'm gonna shoot it to you straight. It's ULM, so the Texas took care of business as they should have. They won 52-10. I mean, everything that they did is all you could ask for. I mean, the offense looked, decent, very vanilla. I don't think they try to put anything on film to tip off Bama. But I mean, yeah, it was just a game of I have better athletes than you, and I'm just gonna show it for 60 minutes, just destroy you. And
So
that's
plus 20.
the plus 20. I
How are we feeling about the plus 20?
the plus 20 with Bama. That's they're pups. Texas are full of pups. They're like
Would you take it?
I think Texas covers. I
You
think
think they
Texas
cover
covers.
20?
I just don't see him get. For the life of me, I just don't see him getting destroyed. It's just like I can't. I can't. I
See,
mean,
all I saw was offense. Defense, I really don't know how it looked. I saw the pick six. I saw a couple sacks, but
I will say
ULM.
this. I will say this. I think Texas has two legitimate guys on the defensive line that they could rely on. That could play every down, and I mean that's two more than last year. I
Yeah, that
mean,
shit didn't look bad.
Baron Sorrell. I mean, granted, as I said before, it's ULM, but Baron Sorrell wreaked havoc. The sack leader for 2021 last year was 2.5 sacks, which lets you know how terrible the
Yeah,
edge
it was
rushing
bad.
and like the defensive line was last season. In one game, he got 2 sacks and is more than halfway there beating that mark. And then you have Byron Murphy, who is a handful as a defensive tackle, who he's just a sophomore, and he's already better than whatever Keandre Coburn could have been, which is sad to
Whoa,
say.
whoa, whoa, whoa! Wait, Coburn was my guy.
The
That
cube,
guy was my guy. The cube was my
the
guy.
cube is legit, but
Maybe
Byron
not stat
Murphy,
wise, but what he would do to free other people up in the middle. That's why he
man,
was my guy, man.
just I don't. I haven't seen the stats for Byron Murphy of what he did, but just seeing him on that field, just plugging up holes and not letting him run. Granted, the ULM rushing attack is one of the worst in the nation, so it's easy to make him look that bad. But I truly believe that Texas has two guys in Baron Sorrell and Byron Murphy that are legitimate every down players. Granted, that's not how PK and Gary Patterson like to run their defenses. They like to rotate and they like to keep players fresh. So having players like Keandre Coburn, Tavondre Sweat, Moro Ojimo, just rotating and rotating and rotating will allow guys like Byron Murphy and Baron Sorrell to just stay fresh for longer in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, so the depth could who's playing safety now? I really don't even.
So the safeties are Anthony Cook and Jaron Thompson. They've moved what's his face? Keenan Crawford.
They moved Cook back.
They moved Keenan Crawford around in the safety as well. They substituted him. Texas really likes Keenan Crawford simply because he's just a plus athlete, very fast.
So it's Jamison,
athletic.
Crawford.
So the secondary five are Jamison, Cook, Jaron Thompson, Ryan Watts, and Jade Barron. Jade Barron isn't healthy right now, so it's Jalen Gilbo, the freshman.
The freshman.
And Gilbo doesn't look out of place. I think PFF put out the defensive grades for Texas yesterday, and Gilbo was the second highest rated guy. He was he was everywhere. In the first drive alone, he made his presence known with a pass breakup on a guy that was wide open, and he just closed on it and broke up the pass and forced a punt. Like, Gilbo, as a freshman, already shows instincts that a lot of upperclassmen have, and he's just a freshman. He's only going to get better.
Yeah, I mean, I just think we have a lot of young guys. I look at it and I'm like, how are we gonna block Will Anderson next week? How's Bijan gonna do?
All I'm gonna say,
one of the best run stuffing teams.
Talking about blocking Will Anderson, all I'm gonna say is that Kelvin Banks looks like shit.
But they're gonna move him around.
That's fine. Kelvin Banks is legit. He looked amazing.
Like I said, like in the clips you just showed me, like you just see the hands, the movement, like
he was passing defenders, picking up stunts. Yeah. He was doing everything as a freshman.
He looked good, but
he showed day one potential, like day one NFL draft potential. And I don't know the last time. I don't know the last time Texas has had a day one NFL lineman drafted.
I mean, Connor Williams was supposed to be that guy.
But the thing is that Connor Williams, while his technique was good, he was small. Whereas Kelvin Banks has the size of an offensive tackle. He has the arm length of an offensive tackle, and he's just amazing. It's just, as I say again, I'm going to say it again and again and again. It was ULM. It's not that big of a litmus test, but granted, it was live bullets for a freshman on his first start, and he didn't look out of place.
So, what's the season going to look like? Let's just go through the schedule. You can put the schedule on the screen.
All right, let me pull up the schedule. So, let me just do this easier. All right, let me pull this up.
So you guys are losing the next two. We know that. Okay. And then after that?
Yeah. So we got Bama next. And honestly, if this is a huge if Texas manages to upset the number one team in the nation, I just think that the sky's the limit for the season. I mean, how could it not?
But you have one of those situations where it's like, what if you beat Bama, right? And what always happens when you have one of those big emotional wins and there's nothing. If Texas were to somehow beat Alabama, it doesn't matter how, blow out 1 point, doesn't matter. They're rushing the field. It's going to be the biggest win in Texas history since Notre Dame, I guess. That's the last thing. And that one would be nothing compared to this win. What if you have one of those games against Team UTSA and you just don't know. You would expect Texas, if they were to beat Alabama. I mean, Jesus, look at anyone. No one else on that schedule has the same amount of players
I just
with the
think that this season is different. I don't know. I just see it with the players, just the way that they're like around each other and all that. It just feels that it just looks night and day from last season, where players like B.J. Foster, just a name drop player, he wasn't entirely bought in, and that affected the team a lot when you don't have a player, especially like B.J. Foster, which was a starting safety for the team, fully bought in, and you simply didn't have anybody else to replace him with. And
Come on, man, that was your boy. How you gonna name drop your boy?
I love
Love
B.J.
PJ
Foster,
Foster.
but after, I mean, if as you know, he quit the team before. Like
Yeah.
he quit before.
Yeah, I think I saw him once go on live actually. He was talking about like y'all gonna like I know y'all gonna hate me right now. Dang, bro, like you kind of don't care and like you live
Yeah,
after something like that.
and that's the thing. There were multiple players like that, and Sark noticed that when you have a coach recorded on a phone giving out a passion speech after a blowout loss to Iowa State, and a player had the audacity to just record it, thinking it was funny, that just shows you that that
Oh, you
team
talking about
isn't
that clip in the bus?
the Bo Davis clip.
Yeah.
That just shows you that some of the players aren't bought in, and they think it's a joke. And I feel like Sark noticed that, and he took that seriously when he said that I am replacing more than 37 players. When he says that more than 37 players are new to this team, he meant it. He took out all the bad apples, they all transferred out, and he bought in players with his recruiting class, and players like Ryan Watts, Quinn Ewers, um, what's it called? Isaiah Nayor, who unfortunately tore his ACL, but he was going to be a plus player. Ajay Hall, who was finally back on the team after that boot situation, and Jaleel Billingsley, who is undergoing a 6-game suspension because of his time in Bama. Something happened. I didn't see what it was, but he suspended the first 6 games.
The boot situation, the guy that took off the boot from the car,
That's
or
a
is that somebody else?
That was a Jai Hall. That was the guy that he took the
Yeah,
boot off the
jeez,
car.
jeez. Yeah.
He's back for Bama, and the team desperately needed it. They after losing Isaiah Nayor, they needed
Did
another
you see the
player.
Bama game, dude?
I just saw that it was like 55-0. They just destroyed Utah State.
Oh, man. You need to watch the highlights though.
I saw the first half that they had 325 yards of offense in the first half.
They look so crisp, man. There was this one clip where Bryce Young, I think he throws like a TD, and he's like celebrating, and then like boom, like right there, he just starts getting coached up by Nick Saban. Nick Saban just has like you know after he lost, he's just different. Like it just has one of those feels like Nick Saban's out for blood.
I mean, last year, believe it or not, was the year before the year for Bama. They weren't expected to go to the national championship last year because their guys weren't like developed yet. Now, like this is the year for Alabama, which is kind of scary because for Texas, this is pretty much the year before the year for them. That
Supposed to be, yeah.
so granted it's kind of scary that Texas is very young across the board, and they're going against a full-fledged Alabama ready out for blood after getting embarrassed by Georgia in the national championship, and this basically being the year either way. So
Dude, you just need to see the stats. Look at the QB stats for what was it, Utah State? I think he went like 3 for 9 for like 14 yards. I was like, what in the whole game? And I think they played 3 quarterbacks actually, and all three were like 3 for something. Like it was insane.
oh my god, they have 57 passing yards.
But just look at that, like, dude, what? And I don't get me wrong, you're talking about Alabama, but what? Like that is insane. That is insane. You're talking about confidence. You're talking about swagger. But I did see that they were saying that this was like the first like true non-conference game that Alabama's played.
That's
play
that's
three scrubs.
that's just life of the SEC, dude.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, I saw that and I was like, I mean, that's everyone. Who really cares? I, I mean, dude, if you're winning national championships, I don't care if for 3 weeks you're playing three scrub schools. Just win a national championship. I don't care.
All I'll say is that Texas better use that heat on Saturday as an advantage because they're gonna need any kind of advantage they could get.
Dude, the crowd, the people, you need it at all, man. See, did you notice it this week? I don't know if they changed. Did the people in the new end zone were they there or were the seats empty?
The seats were it was like 50% full.
See, it's because I know they did that when they opened it. I got the email for the tickets. So if you have a ticket in the new end zone, you can either be in the seat or there's like a club downstairs kind of thing. You can watch the game
They're
inside.
all gonna be in the club.
Yeah, and dude, and it looks terrible when you look at like the
It looks very
aesthetic.
bad.
It
They
looks
did that.
terrible. It looks empty. Yeah, it looks empty, and it's like, dude, like you gotta be in the seats, man. You gotta be bringing the energy. Like the whole end zone when their team is backed up on that side, like you feel that
I
when
will
you're on the other
say
side.
moving the student section was kind of great, just off of the first game.
Yeah,
I
it's closer to section 16, right? I think
Yeah,
it
it's
starts.
it's by the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's corner by the corner of the end zone is where the
Did I don't know if they made it bigger too. I think they made it bigger by one
it's like
section.
yeah, it's like two sections now. It's pretty big.
I think it's always been two. I thought they made it three then,
Well,
because I know
there was a lot of
I'm in. Yeah, I'm in 15, and I know I think it's 16, 17, and it's I think a bit of 18 if I'm not sure, or if they made it 18 just regular. But I know it's right next to where I am for this Saturday.
no, yeah, but just like we were talking earlier, I was looking at the schedule. Before the season started, I said that at best I could see this team going 9-4
Four.
or
Okay.
8-3. No, eight and
So
five.
who are they winning and who are they losing?
And I could see them. I got them losing to Bama. I still think they cover. I got them thrashing UTSA.
This guy here. That's not gonna
I
happen.
don't. I don't believe in Tech, even though playing at Lubbock is kind of scary. But I think they
I
start the
mean,
season 3-0.
they switched coaches though,
That's
so
what
I don't know how they're gonna look.
I still believe that it's still at Lubbock. Even when they were at their worst with some of the teams that they had, Texas playing at Lubbock is still a tough game.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I think Texas Tech's gonna be tougher than people think because when they were, I think it was after like week 6 that whoever the coach was, like everyone quit on that guy. Like, dude, Texas poured 70 on them. For our other team did kind of like the same thing too, and I was like, dude, just get this guy out there.
Yeah. Versus West Virginia, they have JT Daniels. They did look a little bit better
Against
playing against
Pitt, I saw
Pitt.
that game. Yeah, they didn't look bad.
They looked pretty good against Pitt. Granted, it was week 1, so they did look kind of sloppy at times. But with Graham Harrell and JT Daniels, I just having a full air raid against this young defense is kind of scary. But I just think Texas has more talent, and I could actually see them being what is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-1 going to Oklahoma.
To me, dude, against West Virginia, against Tech, you have to unleash Bijan. Like against Alabama, I think the key to the Alabama game is it's gonna be Quinn, because they're gonna do everything in their power to stop Bijan. I mean, everyone's going to, but I just don't think Texas Tech or West Virginia can. But I think a team like Alabama can. Like they have the players on each side of the like on the left edge and on the right edge and on the outside to contain him. But I don't think teams like Texas Tech or West Virginia or any team in the Big 12 can, to be honest. Like I'll be
And
surprised if he doesn't rush for 100 every single.
and going into Red River, I just I want to say that I could see Texas win that. It's it's a crazy stat that when you see them play in that game when a first year head coach plays, more often than not they lose that first game. It's a kind of freaky stat that I didn't believe until last year when they showed it for Sark.
Yeah, I didn't see Oklahoma's game against UTEP, but I wasn't really gonna take much from it.
Yeah,
But
there's not much to take from that.
they have some good players, and they got the QB from UCF, right? Was it
Yeah,
Dylan Gabriel?
Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, that guy can sling it.
Jeff Lebby running the offense with Brett Venables' defense is just
Yeah. Burt
it's
Venables is a good coach. Hell of a coach.
if I could see it, I could see Texas win this game. Granted, I think Oklahoma right now is the better team, but Texas has more talent. They're just very young. So being later in the season does kind of help those young players develop a little bit now that they have a lot of games under their belt. I could see them win this game, and if they win this game, I feel that the Big 12 championship is just there, just for the taking. Even though they have a gauntlet with
Bro, that game, I mean, dude, it's always, dude, that's like we talked about earlier. Like, if they beat Oklahoma, it's like, dude. And then you got, I mean, granted, you're lucky at home, Iowa State. Because Iowa State, if it was over there in Iowa, we've seen those games.
games. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we see what happens.
this season I don't think Iowa State is going to be that good. It's just I feel they just lost too much. They lost Brees Hall. They lost Brock Purdy. It's
For me,
just
dude, it's that Oklahoma State game. I
that
think that's the
Oklahoma
one.
State game is going to be the one at Stillwater. That's the
Yeah.
game. Those two games back to back at Oklahoma State, at Kansas State are the two games that scare me the most for Texas this season. Because
Yeah, you have to.
I don't think they leave those two games undefeated. I think they split them or lose both. I just don't see them going undefeated in that. If they do manage to go undefeated, then this is looking like a special season where they could be playing in the playoff. But
That Kansas State game is going to be tough, too, at Kansas.
at Manhattan, those at Kansas State games are scary all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that they have a transfer in Adrian Martinez, which is better than any QB they've had in the past couple years. So they went 7-5 or 8-5 last year. I do not remember, but they were a good team last season, and it's a scary game. Oklahoma State as well. That they're the scary game with Spencer Sanders and that defense, which is always good for some reason at Stillwater. I feel that those are very losable games. I don't know why ESPN has them favored for that. I just don't see it.
I mean, it could change. I mean, that's now. Everything could change, but that's like week 7, week 8.
Versus TCU, I'm not worried about it. I don't think TCU is that good. I didn't like whatever I saw from their game against Colorado. I just think Colorado is very bad. Their passing attack was non-existent, and I mean, I don't think Texas is going to get run down like Colorado did. So I don't. I really think TCU is going to be near the bottom of the Big 12 this season. I just don't see them. First year head coach. Granted, it's Sonny Dykes, but still, I don't. I
And
don't
then
see
you
them
got Kansas.
at Kansas. The Texas boogeyman, which is kind of depressing, but I still think I still think that Texas wins that pretty convincingly.
I should.
They should,
I mean,
but
that Baylor game, dude. That Baylor game's gonna be a good one.
this Baylor game to
I
end the
I
season.
hate I hate that it's after Thanksgiving.
That's always how it's gonna be. I hate that. I wish it was Kansas instead. But
It's not even that, dude. It's just you look for a crowd for a game like that. Like, I don't blame people. Like, students, you go home. People are with family, so being a Friday is better than being on Thanksgiving. But usually they'll schedule that game like at 11. They'll schedule it early. It's like, dude, it's like a lot of people are not home. I don't know. Don't like that. It's hard. I think they should make it outside.
I don't. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not very keen on what Baylor's doing. I don't know why they're ranked so high. That just
Because
means
they won
that's fine.
because they
But
almost won the Big 12
that's
last year,
fine.
man.
They lost their
They looked
QB.
really good.
They lost their receivers. They lost a lot, and they're still a lot of their players from that Big 12 championship team, were upperclassmen that either went to the draft or graduated. Which is why I'm curious as to why they're ranked as high as they are. That's But granted, I'm admitting that I don't know as much about Baylor this season as I probably should. It's still Um, Crap, what's their head coach name? The dude from LSU. It was the defensive
The head
coordinator for
coach,
LSU, the head coach.
I forgot his name, but I know he gets a lot of recruits.
I forgot his name. That's either way. I know that's a very well coached team.
Oh, it's Dave Aranda.
Dave Aranda, very good coach. As I
Yeah,
said,
he's a hell of a coach, dude.
very good coach team. It's just I don't see why they're ranked near the top 10 of the country. And I don't know. I could grant it's at home. I could see Texas winning that. I feel like that game will come down to see who goes to the Big 12 championship near the end of
So
the season.
you said 8-4. So Bama, who else?
So I had Bama. I had and then neither. I mean it fluctuates. I said 8-4 or 9-3. So I could see Bama, Oklahoma. This is the big one. If they win, it changes a lot of my record. I feel they split any of these two games to make it at 9-3. And if they lose all the games that I just said, then there's your 8-4.
Yeah.
Or they could lose to Baylor. Those are the 5 games that I'm listing: Baylor, Kansas State, Oklahoma, and Bama. They win more than half of those games. We're talking about a special New Year's Six season.
Dude, I just don't want to see this team sputter, bro. It's like after last year, after the Oklahoma game, defeated, clocked out, defeated, just completely sputtering.
I mean, that's a sign of a team that wasn't bought in, as you could tell. Like after that game, they've lost 6 straight. like
Yeah, it's terrible, dude.
it was bad, but I don't know.
I just want to see a team, dude. Like, let's just say Alabama comes in KR and just absolutely smokes. Like, cool, whatever.
I want to see
It's
a bounce
just
back and
yeah,
beat up on
exactly. That's what I
UTSA,
want to see, dude.
even though
I mean, dude,
you don't
I'll
want
tell
that.
you one thing, dude. I don't want that, and I don't think it's gonna happen. Cause when I went to the UTSA game this weekend, the first thing I was thinking is like, dang, like we lost Tariq, we lost Hicks, we lost some other key players in the middle, we lost a lot of guys on defense. So I was thinking, how is our defense gonna? Coming into the week, all they were talking about was Clayton Tune, Houston, Big 12, Houston. The defense played amazing in the first half, even until late in the third quarter. It was a couple mistakes, and then the game just flipped. But there was a lot of plays, man, where I saw that I was like, dang, like they looked a lot better than I thought they were gonna. Now, when you look across the board, UTSA, you would favor Texas at home. I mean, come on, better athletes, better star athletes. But I just think right now, when you look at Texas and UTSA, I think Coach Traylor has an advantage over Sark. And it's not even because I'm a UTSA fan. I just think he has a more bought in than I think Sark does. But I mean, Traylor's been this is his 3rd year, and this is Sark's 2nd year, so it's a little different. So I just don't. I've seen UTSA lose and then bounce back, lose, bounce like last year. Like, dude, no one thought they were gonna lose against North Texas. It's like, what just happened? And then they bounce back and they win. They still win the conference championship at home. And then even just that situation in the game, like last week, it's like 23 seconds, and everyone's like, dang, like it's over. And it's like, boom, 2 plays down the field, touchdown. Field goal, then we go in overtime. I think if UTSA loses, I think they're going to score at least 24, 28 points on Texas.
I
I
just
think they have good athletes, man, on offense. Good athletes.
I talking about that game. I just don't see how UTSA can stop Bijan. I just
Yeah, I mean, that's where it's going to be like the defense is going to be. Our defense, like I said, I think the UTSA UT game is going to be like, it could easily be like a 49-30, 31, 49-24 type game. I just don't see Texas just absolutely like dominating them full on. And I think it's one of those games where it's after Alabama. Texas could come beat up, or they could come in on a high. I just really think it depends on this week because like UTSA had some important injuries this week, so it's like, dude, I don't want anybody to get hurt, but I mean, one injury could change your whole season. So it's like if Frank goes down this week, it's like, dude, like dang, we just lost our best player on the team. One of our best players, not our best player. The same thing goes for Texas. You lose Bijan, it's like it's a complete team. So
I
like,
mean, I
Week
will say
3.
this: if they lose Bijan, I don't think it's that big of a death blow as you're making it seem.
Oh, I don't
Tex,
know about that one.
no. Texas
I like
has
Keelan Brooks. I like
no.
all those guys.
They
I mean,
have
Keelan Robinson.
they
But
have Roshan Johnson, who can start in on
I like Rojo.
85% of any other
No,
teams.
Rojo. That's my guy.
They have Keelan Robinson as a change of pace back who's just faster than everybody on the field. They have Jonathan Brooks, who is a redshirt freshman who looks like an NFL running back. He's just very smooth with the ball in his hands. He is like a mini Bijan, just slower. As
Yeah.
because Bijan is just a unicorn, but Jonathan Brooks, he's legit.
It's just that stat, dude. I've net 10 missed tackles. Like he forced 10 missed tackles. You just can't replace that.
I
So
mean,
I think you
I
lose a guy like that, man, it's gonna be tough. And I think what helps Quinn is that you have a guy like Bijan, because the pressure really isn't on him to make all these throws. Now against Alabama, he's gonna have to, but throughout the season, there's gonna be games where Bijan's gonna be able to like, be like, bro, like I got you, like
and
I
that's
got you
another
until you go
reason,
into it.
and that's another reason why I think Sark went with Quinn instead of Hudson as well. Like you said, that Bijan is more of that. All right, just give me the ball and I got you. Like Bijan is the game manager. Bijan is
Well,
the
not
one
him.
that will manage
Not
the
even
game.
for me, it's not
You
even
don't
game
want to add.
manager.
No. Bijan can manage the
He's
game
just a guy
himself.
that can change the game. For me, it's a
Yeah,
guy that can change the game for you. Like he doesn't need to manage it. It's just more of like, dude, base, and I'll make it happen.
that's
I'm not gonna manage it. Like I'm gonna turn in a 1 yard play into a 15 yard play, and now it's first down. It's like don't worry
but
about
that's
it.
what
I
I'm
got you.
saying. Like you have your safety blanket in Bijan
Yeah.
right there. You don't need another guy like Hudson that is for all for all purposes, he's a good quarterback, but he's not one to take a risk or go for the long ball. Let's say that a deep throw is wide open. He would rather throw it to the inside route, the inside 5 yard route that's just a given and just move the chains. When you have a guy like Bijan that could just be that safety blanket for a young player like Quinn, you go with a guy that'll stretch the defense out. That's just how I see it, and that's just why I feel that Sark went with Quinn instead of Hudson. Another
I
reason.
mean, we're gonna have to see it. I mean, like for me, the biggest game, and it's like, dude, like if he sucks next week, I won't hold it against Alabama. But I think for me, this is like where does Texas want to be in like next year or 2 years from now? It's like this is the biggest game. Like, and it sucks saying that because like, dude, it's the second game. Like you could easily go 0-2 and then win 10 straight. Like you're playing Alabama. But I think you look at Bijan like I said earlier, like I don't think he's gonna go crazy against Alabama. Can he? Yes, he's more than capable. But it's like there's just too many athletes on that. It's too many athletes, and I think it's gonna come down to Quinn. Because like for me, I look at this game as like when Clemson beat beat Alabama in the national championship, and Trevor Lawrence was just making every single throw. Now, obviously, like comparing Quinn, a young Quinn, to a guy that's in the NFL now, like, that's tough. But I'm just saying, like it's gonna have to be that type of performance. Like he's gonna have to make these throws, and if he doesn't make those throws, then it could be a long day.
When they had Isaiah Neyor, I could have seen Texas put up a bigger, like it would have been much tougher for Alabama to try to stop that offense because you'd have to dedicate resources to stop Bijan by loading up the box. And if you want to load up the box, you have to double Worthy. For instance, you can't leave him wide. You can't leave him 1-on-1 because he's gonna beat that defender every time. And then
I
Nayor,
mean,
you can't.
Alabama does play a lot of cover man and man, so I think we're gonna get some matchup
They
for
can play man
for
all they
him.
want. They
We're
can't single cover. They can't play single coverage on Worthy.
gonna find out. I mean, because I really do think that they're gonna. I mean, dude, just Nick Saban, dude, he's just a guru. But
Just
if I'm him, like first series, that's exactly what I'm doing.
what I'm doing.
I'm loading up that box. I'm going man to man, and I'm gonna find out right away how good is this offense? How good is offense? And if they make him like adjust, then I think it'll be interesting.
But yeah, like I was saying, when they had Nair, they would have to have keep a guy up top because Nair was gonna stretch out that defense as a deep threat. But now with him
And they
gone,
just look good, man.
you have Casey Kane, who is a very much lesser version of Isaiah Nair. You don't have to go with that chess match where you have to figure out, all right, where am I going to dedicate my defenders at?
Yeah, I
So
guess beat, bro. They're gonna load that box. There's no way they're going like all game. There's no way.
I just feel that Bama has the athletes to go light if they
Yes.
want to.
Um, I think they do, but I think it's like why would you even give guys a chance to go crazy? Because I don't think Alabama's taking it lightly at all.
Well, no, this is their revenge tour. They're not gonna take anything lightly.
Yeah, and I saw a reporter talking about that the defense was like that they want to keep the shutout thing going like week 2, and I was like, dang, like I mean that's what you want to hear from your guys. Obviously, you don't want to hear. I hate when people are like, oh, they sound cocky. It's like, well, what do you want them to say? Like, oh, we expect
Yeah,
for them to score.
like same with Texas. I mean, a lot of people are talking because of what Overshown said, that a lot of people will see us beating Bama as shocking the world or anything, but nobody in that locker room will be shocked. Like, what else do you want
Yeah,
them to say?
yeah, and 10 times, dude, 10 times out of 10, I'll take a guy like that over a guy who's like, well, it would be nice. Like, no, what the, like as a fan, and they can say that all they want. As a player, it's like, dude, if you don't believe it, like,
Like,
it's not gonna happen.
why are you here if you don't believe it?
Yeah, yeah, it's like, is Texas really back, or is it ever gonna be at a place where it's the best if you don't have that attitude? It's like that's the attitude you need to carry, especially if you're gonna play Alabama.
All I'm gonna say is that I don't think that you need any other kind of motivation to get up for this game. Like there's no
Okay,
reason to start out slow. Like it's Texas versus Alabama. Like
so final game prediction score. What's the score? Team.
I do think that Texas puts up points and a bunch of points
So final
because
score, man. Give it to me.
my
What's gonna be
final
the final score?
score, I feel that I just I don't believe in that defense that much. I haven't seen them tested. I don't know if they're granted. I believe in Byron Murphy and Baron Sorrell as much as anybody, but I don't believe in the Alabama offensive line as much because I don't think they're that good. They lost
Give me
Kyle
a number,
Flood,
man.
but the
Give me a
number,
number.
sadly, I think it'll be 42-31 Bama.
You think Texas leads at one point?
I think it'll be close at halftime, and I think Texas might have a lead around like starting the third quarter. They'll get a lead, and then I just feel that the the youth is going to show, and the more veteran, seasoned team in Bama coming off a national championship appearance they'll just pull through as you'd expect them to against a 20-point underdog.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be an interesting game. I'm excited for it, but I could just easily see him being really bad too. I just hope it's not one of those games by the end of the third.
We're just over by the third quarter.
Yeah,
No, yeah, I don't
where
want
it's like it's over. It's like,
that.
come
Like
on, man.
if it's another
Texas slate, I'm fine with that.
if
Like
it's
it'll be
another
disappointing.
Arkansas, if
I'm
it's
fine
another
with that.
Arkansas, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, it's like, dude, it's at home. It's gonna be a big recruiting game too. Can't.
Multiple recruits. You got Tausilia Kana, one of the top edge defenders in the country, visiting. You have possibly Damon Wilson, another 5-star edge player that out of Florida, that is possibly visiting. You have Jalen Hale, one of the top wide receivers in the country, visiting. DJ Hicks, which was the top I think the top defensive tackle in the country. He was supposed to visit, but I feel that he's not visiting anymore. So you could fade that recruitment away. I don't think that's going to happen. And yeah, just you hear that list of players. I mean, it's also a big recruiting weekend for basketball, but that's not important right now.
I just think it's one of those games, bro, where if I'm Nick Saban or if I'm Alabama, it's like, because you see all these recruits going to Texas and we just beat them. Why would you want to go there? Like, why don't you come with me?
That's not
That's the way I would go about it if I was a coach. It's like, dude, if we just whooped on them, like, come play over here.
that's not how it works because you know how kids think. They feel, oh, I'm the missing piece, and that's just
I
how it is.
mean, they very well. I mean, they very well could be like, cause there's like you said, this Texas team is young, but it's just it's Alabama, dude. It's like when is Alabama not like up there? When's the last time we saw Alabama actually be bad? And we just don't. So I mean, it'll be interesting because I do think you look at some positions in Alabama versus Texas. Like, would do I want to go somewhere where I'm going to sit for 2 3 years, or I can go to Texas and start in maybe a year? So I mean, yeah, it is different. But I don't know, man. I just hope Texas doesn't get blown out. I want them to win, but if it doesn't happen, just please don't get blown out.
I just want them to look competent. That's all I want to see. Year two under Sark. I don't want any blown coverages. I don't want any just penalties, stupid penalties on the offense where it's just
It's just those simple stuff, man. Those simple mistakes that when you play a team like Alabama
they
or any
aggravate.
top five team, yeah, you can't make those mistakes. You make those mistakes, and in a game like this, in a game where you're a 20-point underdog, where you need to be honestly, you need to be perfect or anywhere close to it. You know, you just can't do that. So I just hope that. I mean, this is a type of game where, like I said, Quinn needs to be as advertised as this guy that used to. I mean, was what the best 5-star quarterback ever since Vince Young, wasn't he?
He was the number one overall recruit in the overall just consensus across all the recruiting services.
So like this needs to be the game where you introduce yourself like to the country because the country will.
Call you got College Game Day, you got Big Noon Kickoff, you got NBC also wanting to be there. The entire country will be watching at 11 a.m. for
Yeah, so it
kickoff.
needs to be one. It needs to be this the game where Quinn says like I'm that guy,
Like I'm him.
and yeah, like literally like it's like he has to do that. And I hate that people say, oh, it's because Young. It's like, Vince Young did it, and then you want to say, oh well, that's Vince Young. It's like this guy's supposed to be rated right there with those that type of player. You gotta do it, man. You have to
Granted,
do it.
Vince Young didn't look as godlike as he like in the beginning of his career, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but this
Like
is year two.
Vince Young had that swagger to him where he could just
Yeah, he
like
could
Quinn
take
needs to
over
show
games.
that. Yeah, I
And for
feel
me, it's dude. Vince didn't get to sit a year like this. Like he had like Quinn got to go to a great school with great quarterbacks with like a lot of lineage of great guys that go to the league and post up numbers and got to learn from that. Go to Texas and Sark's supposed to be this great guru, offensive mind, QB whisperer type guy. It's like, come on, man. You have a year of practice here under your belt. It's gonna be a huge game, but I mean, Vince Young did it when they beat Ohio State, so I don't know. It's like a lot of pressure. Easy to say for one of us, right? But I just think he has to perform in this game. Like I don't want Texas to lose because of him. If they lose because of other stuff, just don't let it be because you threw 3 picks or because you forced some passes that where you could have maybe just got a first down and keep the ball moving. Because I think against Alabama, you need to take those chances, but you can't make those mistakes where it's like, oh man, there was a guy wide open for 10 yards, but I wanted to throw that 40-yard bomb.
the thing with ULM is that they were keeping a guy over top at all times, which is
Yeah.
why that those short throws were wide open all the time. But like with Quinn, I feel that Sark wanted to get him going like quickly, like just so he could get in a rhythm earlier, and that's why the first throw he tried to throw that bomb to Worthy. But like I said, that's why the deep ball wasn't as open as it should have been against a team like ULM. But that was because they had a deep safety at all times, no matter what the play call was. It could have been a goal line rush where everybody was just on the line and they had one receiver outside. They were going to have a guy over top no matter what. And it showed with the being double covered every time on the deep post. So with against Alabama, I don't think they'll be doing that. I don't think they're going to have a guy over top at all times, which
Yeah.
opens up the deep pass for Quinn if it's there.
Yeah. Okay. So we got 8-4, 9-3, and what did you say? 31, 49
42 to 31.
to 31. So the over hitting too.
I got the overhitting and I got Texas covering.
All right. Your 2 picks for this Saturday.
Hmm?
Those are your two picks then? Interesting.
Yeah, those are my two picks. Texas covers,
Alright.
and they hit the over because I feel like it's going to be an offensive barrage.
On both sides.
Yeah.
Alright, well, enough of that. Let's talk about the big boys. The defending conference champs, baby. The team that's on the uprise. The team that is taking every single San Antonio and Texas recruit. We did just lose, but I mean it was a crazy game, dude. Honestly, I do not regret selling my tickets. I don't regret being at the UTSA game, and I think I am a little disappointed in the turnout. I mean, it was a good. I think it was like 37,000, 35,000. I just expected more. It's like, dude, this team just won a conference championship. It's
And they're
like,
playing the number 24 team in the country.
yeah, like in-state rival. I mean, they already don't advertise it as big as Texas State. That is the what is it? The I-10, I think I-35
Yeah, 35.
rivalry.
Yeah.
But like, dude, it's like even all the people leaving the game, Houston fans and UTSA fans, all I could say is like, this should be a yearly thing. Like this game is legit, and the way UTSA is rising, like, because I was looking at the schedule of like 2 years and playing Texas State like every single year, and the way Texas State is like, I haven't seen them do anything recruiting wise, win wise. It's like, I get it, they're the team, but UTSA's never lost once against them. It's like, what's the point to keep blowing out this team instead of playing a team that's gonna be in the Big 12? It's like they're going to keep being up there. It's like I think there's just more of a draw, but I saw JJ, he kept tweeting there was like no money draw set up. But I think for the fans, that is a way better game than State.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Houston will always be one of the highest, like, I mean, in terms of being ranked group of five teams. Granted, they're going to be a Power Five team in next year. So they'll always have recruiting since they're in one of the biggest hotbeds in the country in Houston, where they could just bring
Yeah.
in recruit after recruit after recruit. So talent wise and like game wise, I could see why I would rather list Houston as an annual like rival game for
Dude,
UTSA.
it was even that from the beginning, dude. Not even the people like I we were talking about earlier, like, students. I was like, I wasn't there for that, but I was just thinking, what is going on? Like we like what is this? Like this isn't even an annual thing.
Yeah.
And I mean it was a great atmosphere. I mean San Antonio people, like the community at the tailgates, like super welcoming. It's like very rarely have I ever been scuffling or like people fighting outside. And it's like never see it at UTSA. It's like I've gone to Texas game, bunch of rowdy college kids, I get it. But they do a good job at UTSA of not, having that happen. But when I look at this game, dude, Cephas, bomb touchdown for like, I think it was like the first one.
Yeah.
Frank is that guy, man. He had an ugly pick, but other than that, dude, he is that guy. And it's like old man Frank. He's got the wheels. And I was interested to see how they were gonna do if we lose McCormick. And it's like everyone stepped up. It was like a committee thing when the running backs. It was a good performance from the receivers and Oscar Cardenas. It's like, dude, and that guy's already a legend in UTSA. He made a touchdown for the conference championship last year. But that catch was that we saw it earlier, dude. That catch from at
Yeah.
the end was clutch. Like, dude, clutch. So it's like this week, I think they play Army. It's like our defense is gonna have to step up. Our
Pretty sure
defense is
Army's
gonna
a
have to
triple
go
option.
crazy. Yeah, that's why it's like
Yeah.
it's just one of those teams that you only have 1 week and you're preparing for an offense that you're not gonna.
See ever again in the season.
Yeah, but dude, we have this nose tackle, dude, sophomore. I'm looking at the depth chart right now. 305, dude. Bro, he's an absolute beast in the. He is a beast in the middle. So I think if he can plug out, if he can take on some, even get, just force havoc in the middle. When you're looking at a triple option team, I mean, your whole offense is like predicated on your guards. So if your guards aren't pulling or not closing that initial gap, like you're gonna have problems.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have to go wide. The initial 234, like right down the B gap. So if he can have a good game, we have some good guys on the outside that can get some good action. I mean, and then Rashad Wisdom is just gonna have a crazy game, hard hitting safety against a team that's gonna run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. I think he's gonna have. And then the Darian Taylor, dude, that guy that came back for one more year. He's gonna go crazy too, I think. And then offensively, I'm not really worried. I think Army's not ready for the barrage that is. Just have a lot of like seniors.
I will say this. I mean, I didn't watch the game. Obviously, I was driving up to Austin for the Texas game. But just seeing these stats, and I mean, you said a committee approach at running back. I mean, if 13 rushes for 34 yards, 6 rushes for 11, like these numbers are, aside from Frank that may stat padded the rushing stats pretty much single handedly.
Yeah, our running attack really wasn't there. Honestly, our
like, seeing that from Traylon Smith is kind of disappointing. Honestly, it's just
he didn't have a great game.
That was like your big transfer player on offense from Arkansas, and just I don't know, just those numbers. Sincere would be disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, Sincere was crazy though, bro. Like you're talking about a guy that rushed for like 2,000, like he was like 1,000 every season, like 4,000, 5,000 yards. Like Sincere was just on another level. And that guy had a good power, good balance, and good just speed in general. It also didn't help that we lost our right tackle game, so that sucked. But I mean, our receivers just kept making plays though for us, like
Cephas and Franklin had a great game just off of these.
I mean, dude, but it's Franklin. Well, how many receptions did he have?
Franklin 10 receptions, 100 yards.
Bro, like I'm telling you, like dude, that guy is just like Franklin is a problem, dude. And I was so happy he came back. I think he's gonna have a big season. Him, and then you have Cephas like on the other side, and you have Cardenas who can catch balls down the middle.
I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of surprised that Franklin didn't transfer. That just shows you that he believes in this UTSA squad.
Dude, it's Traylor. Coach Traylor's the guy. And then I'm not even Arc 2 on the X. Like, dude, our receivers are really good. I don't think we should. I think they got him as -2 or -4 favored this week.
Like
I think that.
I am certain
I would think that
if Franklin would have gone to the portal, I am certain that he would have gotten a lot of like looks from Power 5 schools, like top Power 5 schools that needed receivers.
Yeah, they got UTSA at -2, which I mean I could see it happening because it's outside. UTSA did struggle a couple games outside, but it's at 11. And Army's just one of those teams where if you mess up, they'll eat a whole quarter. Like if you're not on it, they'll eat a whole quarter. So they'll slow the game down. But I think if UTSA gets the ball first and scores and then gets a stop, it's a wrap.
Yeah, I just
think UTSA is too explosive on offense.
Where did the Army play week 1? Coastal Carolina? I mean, I don't see why y'all's game wouldn't be like this.
I mean, I just hope UTSA gets the ball first. I mean, even if they don't, it's just you can't let a team like Army score first, because if they score first, and they're gonna go. You have to score first, and then put the pressure on them to open it up. Because if they just run, it's like cool, we're winning, go for it.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't think UTSA struggles. And then looking at the schedule, I haven't really seen them kind of going week by week. Already talked about how I think they're going to do against Texas. I think they could win it, but if they win it, like crazy. I think some things would have to. And who's that week 4?
Texas Southern.
See, I just don't think UTSA struggles during the conference USA. I think they looked really good, and the biggest thing was like Coach Traylor and all the reporters were talking about it. That everyone was like dejected, like coming into practice today, and it's like, oh, man, it's like you finally have that. Like when I was leaving the Alamo Dome, it's like, dude, like that one hurt. It's like, dude, it's like you have a UTSA team who's like in the 12th year of being a program, playing Houston, and you feel like we should have won that.
Yeah.
And it's like that, like you see how the program is just on the up and swing. But that Texas Southern game at home, I don't expect it to be anywhere close to what it was, like against Houston. Texas Southern's last 5 games they've lost last year. Should be a good game for UTSA. 2:30 kickoff at home. And then they got, what is it, Middle Tennessee.
Middle Tennessee.
That one's on Friday. That one's gonna be weird. But I mean, it's those games that could be problematic in a short week. Then that Western Kentucky game is gonna be interesting.
They don't got Zap no more. They don't have their
Dude,
head coach
dude,
out there.
last week, dude, they slung that ball, bro. They're 2-0 right now. They beat Hawaii, and that Austin P game was the one. I mean, Austin, I don't think they're as good as UTSA, but their quarterback went, what was it, 20 to 34, 279, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Then against Hawaii, he went for 271, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. And their defense forced the Hawaii quarterback into 4 interceptions. So WKU is going to be a tough game. And it could easily be another shootout.
Florida International.
Yeah, that UTSA West WKU game is at home, so that helps. And then Florida National.
It helps that y'all don't play Florida Atlantic.
Yeah, I think they were, but they changed it last second. I think something happened. And then that North Texas game, like that one's personal after what happened last year. And it's at UTSA, and dude, North Texas fans were just running their mouth. But I mean, like, dude, you just beat us, so it's like, what can you really say? Then I think the conference, not championship, but who goes to that? I mean, if we do falter against WKU, could easily be decided in that UAB game.
I just think La Tech is terrible.
La Tech. Which one's that one? What is that the next week after that?
UAB. I just think they're terrible.
I just think it's after the UAB. It's what happened last year. It's like UTSA was supposed to go undefeated, and then you go into North Texas and tough conditions, and anything happen. Start playing bad, and
the last 3 games, I'm not scared of anybody. You got Louisiana Tech, which is awful. Then you got Rice, it's Rice.
Yeah, they should be Rice.
Then you got UTEP to end the
convincingly. Season. See that game? I remember last
year. Yeah, but they
drove up.
The difference is that UTEP had the one receiver that went to Arizona. I forgot his name. He's not there.
For me, it wasn't even that. It was just the hype. Like, I drove to El Paso for it with a friend, and the hype. Oh my God! Other people from El Paso actually thought that they were gonna beat the TSA team. It's like, dude, chance. And I forgot what the score was, but it wasn't anywhere close. And it was just the hype around the stadium. I'll give the though that, like, they put on a party. Yeah. They had a good atmosphere outside the stadium, but even
had people having sex in the back of a car.
Back of a pickup truck, yeah. That was some students. Yeah, that was 44-23.
Yeah, not close.
At the half it was 30-9. So it's like, dude. Yeah, and I remember that game. I think McCormick had like an early run where he just scored like a long touchdown. And it was just kind of like, dude, it's going to be one of those games. Like, it's going to be like that the whole game. And then it really was. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to that game just because I don't tap. But hopefully, the way I look at this season, I think they could easily just lose 2 games if they don't falter again. But they could easily lose 4. Could easily lose against Texas. Could easily lose against WKU and UAB. Already lost against Houston. But I just hope that the community doesn't fall. Because say they lose this week and then they lose against Texas. Like, 0-3 looks terrible, but it could easily turn into 9.
Yeah.
Easily. But it's just, man, it just sucks when I just really expected more people at the game last week.
I mean, just looking off the ESPN thing, it looks like it was a sold-out crowd.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, but they opened the top section and they didn't and they were like JJ was like putting like the average, not the average, like the biggest attendance at UTSA games, and they didn't even break it last year when they won the conference championship, which I thought like, dude, it's like what's a bigger game than that?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it was still great, dude. It was still a great turnout last week and last year, and I think 9-3 is what I would go for the season. I think UTSA goes 9-3, if not 10-2, if they can get by. If they can get by WKU and UAB twice, and then we'll obviously play for a conference championship after that. Would have to see who it's against. I would assume WKU would be against again.
All I'm gonna say is if y'all have another good season, granted not like last year. Last year was amazing, but like you said, a 9-3 season. I don't see how Trailer stays. I just don't see it.
I think if I look at that, man, I'm like, I said 7-5 before the season. That would be great. But after seeing how they played last week, I could easily see it go 9-3. Because before the season, I was thinking just go 7-5, man. They go 7. Like that to me is amazing. You just lost a bunch of players, but they got me excited after seeing this last game. So I think 9-3 could happen, but it's gonna be tough. And for Trailer, it's like I just think he's building something where it's like, why would you leave? I get it, the money, the attraction of a big program, but you have, but you're gonna be going to year 4. You're gonna join a bigger conference. You got to retain your whole staff when he resigned, and they all got paid. They got bonuses and salary raises as well to keep them on there. You got a great class last year. Depending on see how this season turns out, get some good guys next year. Eddie Lee's gonna be slinging the pill next season. I don't know. I think if I'm him, I would want to stay, but it depends. Who at the end, who's calling at the end of the season.
I mean, if Nebraska might come open,
Yeah, why would you want to go there?
Nebraska's still a blue blood.
Man, why would you want to go there?
If a
I
blue
just,
blood comes
I do.
calling, I could see him taking it. And Nebraska, I feel like he could turn over Nebraska.
I mean, he didn't go to Texas Tech or LSU last year, so
Nebraska's a way better job than Texas Tech or TCU. I'm sorry.
I said
Or
LSU.
LSU, regardless.
I mean, I don't know about that one, man. I think it's gonna be a tough season for him this year, but it's still LSU.
Because
And once they get going, recruiting wise, it's gonna be tough.
Nebraska, they look awful. They just
I mean,
no, they look
it was
awful.
just, Casey Thompson just made some mistakes in the second half.
Northwestern, they looked awful against Northwestern, and then against
Defensively, they looked bad.
North Dakota, that was an embarrassing game.
I didn't see the last game.
No,
What was
that
the
North
score?
Dakota. I mean, they won by, I'm guessing more than 14, but it was a
38-7.
7-point game for majority of the game. Like it was embarrassing.
Yeah, it was 17-17, 24-17, 31-17, 30.
Like you, like at the point that what's his face is at, like what's his face, Scott Frost, the year that like whatever year he is, I don't even remember how many years he's been on the job. Like if you are struggling against North Dakota in I'm gonna guess year 5, I don't even remember. I'm guessing year 5 because 2017 that was the UCF year, right? The national championship year.
Which year?
2017.
I don't remember.
I'm gonna just guess 2017 was the UCF national championship year. He's been in Nebraska for 5 years, and struggling against North Dakota, it's just no. You can't have that in year 5. You just can't. And Casey Thompson he just looks awful. He doesn't like he looks just like he did while he was at Texas.
Yeah, that wasn't pretty.
And I could see Nebraska opening up. I could see if they call Jeff Traylor, I don't see how you turn that down. I just don't. Granted, Nebraska isn't in a hot recruiting bed like Texas is, but it's still a blue blood. I just don't see how you turn that down. Maybe he
It's
just
gonna be interesting.
yeah.
I mean, he said he had stuff to do it. Like he didn't want to leave without winning some stuff. So I mean, knocked the conference championship out of the bag, but I think there's still stuff left. And I think the joining the AAC is gonna be like a good. Just the program itself, I think is just it's poised for. I mean, it's gonna take a time, but it's poised for like to keep growing in a good way.
Amen. 2025.
2025.
UTRGV Conference USA. Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
it's gonna be special.
We'll see what happens. We'll see when that comes. So I got that out of
It's
the way.
gonna
Now
be
I got
special.
NFL Thursday night football. I got a hot take. I think the Bills blow.
You think the Bills blow out the Rams?
Yep. I don't care. They're unveiling a banner. I don't. Dr. Dre performing at halftime. And all of them from the Super Bowl performing, they're gonna get blown out by the Bills. I think the Bills are gonna start 1-0 and let everybody know why they're.
I don't know, man. I feel that the Bills are in a bad spot after
I mean, did the
the whole punter situation, the whole punt god thing. I
the
just
public is hammering them, but I think Josh Allen is just the wagon. It's just they're gonna get going,
no, it is
and they're gonna.
worrisome. It is worrisome with Matthew Stafford how with his elbow.
Dude, he throws a pick every game that he shouldn't be throwing.
It's not
Every
even
single game.
it's not even that. It's just the worrisome thing is that he's having elbow issues before right before the season starts.
I mean, the over-under's at
It's
52.5, so they're expecting points.
I think that
20,
I think that over
27 a
hits.
team
I think that over hits easy.
on week one. Van Jefferson's questionable.
Cooper Cup
The
will go for
Lions
150 yards receiving on Tre'Davious White.
2.5. Buffalo. I know the public's hammering Bills. Seems like a trap game. 69% consensus pick. Yeah, the Rams are plus 115. I think the Bills blow them out.
That's crazy. I don't see it. I just I just can't see that.
I think the Bills win 31-14.
That's insane.
I think everyone's expecting just in week one opening game. I think the Bills just steam them.
I just I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think that happens. And I got Baker Mayfield going wild.
Yeah, the Browns are in a bad spot, dude. They're
I
freaking.
wish that game was at Cleveland. I wish it was at Cleveland, but
It's just
even at Carolina, oh,
it's
Baker goes
Jacoby
nuts.
Brissett starting. I just don't see how Cleveland even stands a chance. Week one.
I mean, they got it at 2.5.
I mean, that's just because Carolina's not a good team either.
I think that's in, and then they got 41.5 over under. I don't know. I think this is. I would include this one in a parlay, but I'll take Carolina and the points. I think they beat them
I just
by over 2. I think they beat them by over 4.5 points.
I just don't see how Cleveland could. I mean, granted,
I
we have
mean,
Nick
dude,
Chubb,
yeah, they still
but
got the Chubb too.
but having Jacoby Brissett as a starting QB is just not. That does
I
not
mean,
incite
he's not
confidence.
terrible.
Come on,
He's not terrible.
he's
Not,
probably the worst starting QB in the league right now.
nah, I think the Geno Smith's worth their quarterback.
No, I would rather have Geno Smith and Jacoby Brissett.
You rather have Davy Mills too?
I would rather have Davis Mills over Jacoby Brissett. Davis Mills is a stud.
We'll see.
Don't
See, they got
disrespect
that
him.
one. They got that one at 8 -8 Colts.
Colts in the
I don't
Texans.
think. Yeah, I think the Colts smack them around.
Yeah, and then Matt Ryan tears his ACL and it's Sam Ellinger season.
I wouldn't say that. I don't want anyone to get hurt. But yeah, I think just looking at this NFL, I got the Bills blowout. I don't know who the Saints, Falcons, or is it Marcus Mariota versus Winston?
My big upset
I
of the
don't know.
week is Texas. Dallas beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
See, I don't think I have a big. Dang.
Even though Michael Gallup is not playing.
See, I really don't know I don't know who's on the Bucks defense anymore. I know I still got Vita Vea.
I think
That guy's gonna be a problem.
they still do have Vita Vea, but
Dude, Zeke just looks lazy, man.
he looks good. He's been looking good.
I passed on that guy in fantasy, so
I picked him up in the third round. I was excited when he dropped.
he brings no confidence
He
in
brings a lot of
fantasy.
confidence. He was
I
looking
just think
amazing in the first half of the season before he tore his PCL.
after I saw him get smacked in that practice film against who was it? What was it? It was in practice. I just saw him try to come back and get smacked, and I was like, I don't know.
Zeke's
I
gonna
don't
have
think the
a-
Cowboys. I mean, it's -2, so could be supposed to be a close game,
Dallas
but
by 20.
heck
Tampa.
no. And then this line finally moved. That's what I've been saying. They opened it up at four, I think 4.5. Now Denver's -6.5. And I think Denver. That's what I said from the beginning. I said Seahawks should have been +6.5. They look terrible in preseason. I think that's another. I don't know. I don't even say if it's. I don't even think if you're batting Hammer Russell 2.5 touchdown, he's gonna throw at least 3. He's coming out with a vengeance.
Yeah. No, but I think those are going to be good games. I think Chiefs and Cardinals is going to be another good
Yeah,
game.
Chiefs Cardinals game. Yeah,
I'm excited for
I
that
mean,
one.
I'm also excited for the Ravens Jets just because I want to see if Zach Wilson does play. I want to see what he looks like.
The game
That
that
game,
interests me is also, even though it's kind of, there's no reason to excite me. It's the Eagles and Lions. I just
that game's it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a close game. And I think if you bet that game, I think that's a game I would stay away from because I could easily see the Lions winning.
I don't know how you could see that. That is insane.
Heck yeah, dude.
You're letting Hard Knocks talk
Hard
for you.
Knocks. Oh,
You're letting
well,
Hard
Motor
Knocks.
City, damn, bro. Motor City, damn. It's at Detroit too.
You're
Come
letting
on,
Hard
man.
Knocks talk for you there. There's just no
Dude, how
way.
many times have you seen the Eagles supposed to be this team? It's absolutely disappointing.
I don't think the Eagles are going to be a good team either. I find it crazy that a lot of people are saying they're going to win
Oh,
the
they're winning the
division.
division.
They're
Oh,
not
they are
winning.
winning the
They're
division.
not winning the division.
Yes, they are.
They're not winning the division.
Yes, they are.
The only reason I could see them winning the division is because no NFC East team has won the division back-to-back years since like
That's
2000.
exactly why it's gonna happen.
But it's not going to happen.
That's exactly why it's gonna happen.
That's not going to happen. The Cowboys are still
All
winning
right.
the division.
Okay, so let's finish this show, bro. It's getting late. Let's go straight picks, and We'll keep this in track, and then we'll start doing this every week. See who wins every week. So Bills Rams. I got Bills.
I got the Rams.
I mean, you don't have to. We can agree. I'm just saying.
No, that's fine.
I'm
I
just
still
saying.
got the Rams.
Okay, yeah. We're gonna go every single game. Saints Falcons. I actually got Marcus Mariota.
I like Marcus Mariota with. I believe in the more. Is Jameis Winston starting?
I think so. Yeah. They should win. They're -5.5. I don't know why Marcus Mariota he gives me some confidence, man. I don't know why.
I believe in Jameis.
It's at Atlanta. Okay, I'm taking the Falcons.
No, I believe in Jameis. I'm changing
And
my
then
pick. I'm picking with Jameis.
yeah, 49ers Bears. I'm taking the 49ers.
I'm taking the 49ers.
49ers.
The Bears are going to get slaughtered.
Steelers Bengals. I got the Bengals.
The Bengals are killing the Steelers, even though Mitchell Trubisky is starting week 1.
Yeah, like they named him captain too. So I mean, that's gonna be a good. Like I wonder when they're gonna pull the
plug on
the
him.
trigger. Then yeah,
Kenny Pickett.
considering they named him a captain. Yeah. Eagles Lions. I got the Lions.
That's insane. I still got Philly.
Yeah, Patriots Dolphins.
I don't believe in Miami. I don't care. Tua's trash. I'm going Patriots.
You don't believe in Tua? Oh, I
Tua's
forgot what
garbage. Tua's garbage. I'm going New England.
Tua turned the ball over.
Tua turned the ball over. I don't believe in him.
Yeah, I got the.
Just
Yeah, I
because
guess I
they have
got.
Tyreek Hill and Chase Edmonds, I do not care.
Yeah, Chase Edmonds doesn't give me confidence. I got the. Ravens, Jets. I got the
I
Ravens.
got the Ravens as well.
Jaguars, Commanders.
I actually have the Jags here.
Yeah, I was thinking to Carson Wentz. Just he gives me no confidence, but I still got
It's
the Commanders.
well, it's not that I don't have confidence in Carson Wentz because I feel Carson Wentz is going to do very well for Washington. They
He's
won.
not.
They won games with Heineke, dude. I do not want to hear that. They won games with
Dude,
Heineke. No, no, don't
Heineke
give it
was
to
the
me.
truth,
Don't give it
bro.
to me.
Taylor
Don't give me
Heineke
that.
was
Don't
the
give me that crap.
truth.
Don't give me that crap. Don't give me that crap.
Yeah, I got the Commanders.
Carson Wentz is 10 times the QB that Tyler Heineke is, but
I got the Commanders because they're gonna be able to get the ball to.
I don't know. I feel that Doug Peterson is gonna have the Jags team playing better than Urban had them.
Oh, that's for sure. Browns, Panthers, heavy on the Panthers.
Heavy Panthers. I don't believe in the Browns. Jacoby Brissett is
Colts,
garbage.
yeah, Colts, Texas. I got the Colts.
Jonathan Taylor's having 3 touchdowns.
Ooh, 3. That's a bold one. Giants, Titans. I got the Titans. I mean, Danny Dimes. Is he gonna get it
I want
done?
to say New York because I want to see Saquon
Jesus.
do well, but I
I
just
mean, this
go.
injury report looks terrible.
But I'm just going. I'm going Tennessee.
I mean, it's ESPN, so I don't know how. I mean, it's early in the week, but they got Tony questionable, Caven it's questionable, Tyra Taylor doesn't really matter, Leonard Williams
Aziz
early in the,
Ojulari.
but just seeing all those names, like what the
Harold Landry
Packers,
Harold Landry got hurt, so
yeah,
that's a big one.
Packers Vikings. I got the Vikings. I don't care what the line says.
That's crazy. Even with Aaron Rodgers on ayahuasca or whatever the hell that thing is called.
I don't care. I don't believe in the Devontae Adams less Packers.
I believe in Romeo Doubs. Give me the Packers.
I got the Vikings. Chiefs Cardinals. I got the Cardinals.
I got the Chiefs.
I got it's at Arizona. Give me Kyler Murray.
Give me
Raiders,
KC.
Chargers. I got the Chargers.
Raiders are
Yeah,
not going to be a good team.
yeah, I love the Duck. Oh, I think they're gonna be a good team. Buccaneers, Cowboys, Sunday Night Football. I got the Bucks. Tom
Dallas.
Brady. He's the
Rain
GOAT.
Dakota Prescott is going to destroy that team.
And then Broncos, Seahawks. I got the Broncos.
Yeah, I got the Broncos too.
All right.
I think Russell Wilson is going to go buck wild. Not that
Dude, he's throwing 3, bro. I'm telling you. Hammer that. And then let's just finish it with conference champs, every single one. AFC East. I got the Bills.
division champs for the AFC East.
Yeah, we're just rattling them off.
It's got to be
I got the Bills. AFC North. I got the Bengals.
I think the Ravens come back and win that this season.
Okay, AFC South. I got the Colts.
Yeah, I don't see how anybody else can compete with the Colts in that trash division. The Titans are terrible.
Yeah.
Though.
AFC West, which is gonna be I think it's gonna be a crazy division. I got the Let's Ride Bronco Country, Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson's gonna get it done.
I still see until they lose. I just can't bet against the Chiefs.
All right, NFC East. I got the Eagles.
Cowboys.
NFC North. I got the Vikings.
The Green Bay Packers.
NFC South. I have Tom Brady, the GOAT.
Yeah, Buccaneers.
And then NFC West, I have the Rams. Even though, I mean, I need to see Trey Lance, but I just don't. I don't believe in him as much as people do.
I actually believe this is the season that the Cardinals actually take off. I got Arizona.
We'll see it. So, you got anything else to add? I mean, that's it. That's all I got for this week. We'll see. See how it turns out next week. See how these.
See how Texas looks against Alabama. Because my God.
Yeah, we'll see how Texas looks. See how UT. Call that a show.
Yep.